probably said that once. I've said it 1,000 times. She has been, but that's not a crime. That's more morals, or like how someone would handle themselves in a bad situation. You can take responsibility and grow from it and learn from it and be a better person in the end, or you can blame everyone else and take no responsibility. That's what Erika's done. She knew she was married to a mob boss. Bullshit, she didn't know that. She scoped him out at the restaurant. She saw her, her possible meal ticket, and she went for it. And she was successful for 20 years at getting what she thought she wanted. And it is what it is. I'm not saying that's bad or wrong per se. People can judge what they want. That's what the internet's for, right?
That is what the internet is for. And I'm like you, I'm like, public opinion or your opinion is a lot different than the law. So I like to just separate all the other noise out and just say, like, this is the facts and it's unlikely. I just think it is ironic that to be tied up with all of this with Tom, where there was so much smoke and fire, and really you probably aren't. There probably is nothing. Like, and now this Marco thing is real, however it's decided, but it is a real thing, which really, in a way, has nothing to do with what Tom did. It's like, it's
But
kind of like,
it does though, because it's the same corruption and power that he used to manipulate the bar and law enforcement to do what he was doing, that he did to squeeze that money. And what makes the Marco case such a big deal is that these are Erika's victims. Erika now has her own direct victims. You can't call former Girardi Keese clients like myself or the Gomez's, or people who actually got their settlement money stolen. Those aren't Erika's victims. If you have earrings that were paid for with a particular case's money, then I would say those cases from, Girardi Keese could say Erika, has created issues for them. You can tie them directly. Or like Nancy Marston, Erika got money from Nancy's case, but she was overcharged for stuff. She was done the same way the other Girardi Keese clients were. So Erika got money that Tom should have never received. Once he steals money, people's contracts are null and void. So that retainer agreement, Tom no longer earned his fees. He's stealing. He's criminal. Okay, so that client no longer owes that money. So Erika getting money through Nancy's lottery annuity over a period of years, that's directly affects Nancy. Erika's receiving money that should have gone back to Nancy. So now she's connected to some of Tom's victims in different ways. But Marco is on her. And she's even claiming Tom wasn't involved, and she's the one that called the Secret Service. Like as if her power calling the Secret Service up can get the kind of treatment that they received, that it had nothing to do with Tom. It's nonsense. It's like when I called to get my son's body from the coroner. I was told it was going to take like 3-4 weeks to get my son's body so I could have it cremated, so I could have a service. I called Tom, I got it the same day. I know me calling didn't make that happen. And Erika knows that about the Secret Service. It's no different. We knew how powerful he was. Everybody around him knew that. And Erika, being married to him for 20 years, could not make a good argument that she didn't know how powerful Tom was. She loved it. She was intoxicated by it. Literally. Still is.
Yeah. Are you nervous? Like you've seen Tom at other trials. You're going to be there if, based on when they decide they're not calling you, or you're called and it's over. Well, you're called and it's over. And then you're like, if you're there, like, are you nervous to see Tom sitting there?
I just saw him on Friday at the pretrial hearing, and I didn't realize he was going to be there, or Chris Camone, which that's the first time I've seen Camone since he got arrested. And it made me sick to my stomach to see them both. I know far more now than the last time I saw Tom in the courtroom, and far more than the last time I saw him in person, before all this blew up. And, I thought I would be more like maybe angry, but I'm actually really sad about it. It's really sad to see You know, what's the saying? Don't meet your heroes because it'll, screw it all up. Um,
Yeah.
it's a bummer because I thought the Aaron Brockovich movie was an incredibly good movie. And I know movies aren't exactly what a movie is in real life, that it's an adaptation of it. But it's a bummer. It's awful that Tom turned out to be the bad guy when there are so few people that are powerful that fight for the underdog that go up against big corporations. So now we have one less person who can even the playing field between an injured person and a huge company like Pacific Gas and Electric or the NFL, or like the guy who got, beat up, the Giants fan who got beat up at Dodger Stadium. Who do people call? And if Tom's doing this stuff and nobody's really getting up in arms about it from the legal community, what lawyer do we pick now? Who else is doing this? I don't think we know that yet. This is really early on in the bigger problem, which is what's the system that allowed Tom to do this? Not just law enforcement, not just the bar, but his fellow lawyers. Lawyers are pretty freaking smart. In fact, they love to tell everybody how smart they are. So now they were dumb and didn't know what Tom was doing. They were all just bamboozled. Well, let's hire one of those bamboozled guys to represent us who claim they didn't know shit. It's a catch-22, isn't it?
Yeah. And I wonder if, people, not everyone's aware of this case, but, like you would think those that are would stay on top of their lawyers in the future. I mean, obviously the onerous is I'm not saying that they should, but like I micromanage everyone. So, but that's different. I am a lawyer. I am a jaded human being. So that's just
Yeah, we're
me.
weird. I'm super jaded
Right.
now, but I think people don't really know what the red flags are about lawyers, and to give people a couple examples are if you see a binding arbitration clause in your retainer contract saying that if you have a dispute between you and the attorney, you've got to go to binding arbitration or go to their mediator that they've picked, or it's mediation only, like you don't have a right to go to a jury trial when you have a disagreement with them. Don't hire that lawyer. And I don't care what lawyers think about me for saying that. Do not hire a lawyer that wants you to sign a contract that gives them the upper hand over you. They have a duty when they become your lawyer. They have a fiduciary duty and a duty of loyalty to you. And if out of the gate they want you to be under their thumb, that's not the guy or gal for you. Don't sign the contract. And I'll even say this: anybody that sees this interview, if you're hiring a lawyer and you have a retainer, I can't tell you what lawyer to hire. That's for you to decide. But if you want me to look at your retainer and tell you what red flags are in there, I'll do it. Find me on social media, send me a message. I'll look at it and tell you what the red flags are. Because people have to start picking different lawyers and holding lawyers accountable for their bad contracts and their shitty behavior. And it's not just Tom Girardi. There's far more than Tom and just the guys at his firm. There's other law firms doing it too. I mean, look at the billboards around LA. Los Angeles is, as a city, lawyers spend more money here than any other city in the country. Don't even hire these billboard lawyers. They're ridiculous. And they all are going to hate me, and it doesn't matter though.